Hello. In this video, I want to share about an experience that I had in a past life regression where I actually discovered a past life extraterrestrial life as an arcturian being. If you notice any hesitation or tension as I go to share this story, it's really just because I have certain nervousness about sharing this. Even though it's becoming more and more talked about and more acceptable in society as far as disclosure and as far as these topics, yeah, it just feels like a really big stretch to me. And I'm also getting more comfortable being on camera, speaking naturally with no notes on camera. So thanks so much for being here with me. And I just want to share that as some context for how I'm showing up. So, right into the story. It was about a year ago, was doing a past life regression session, and this is something that I have learned how to do. I was certified through the Beyond Quantum Healing. So the kind of mother of past life regression is Dolores Cannon. She has the QHHT method, and I really wanted to learn something that I could use virtually as well as in person, and the QHHT is just an in-person thing. So I found this Beyond Quantum Healing. It's by a woman, I'm fairly certain her name is Candace, and she studied really closely under Dolores Cannon for a long time and then kind of created this offshoot of her own method of Beyond Quantum Healing. So I'm studied and certified in Beyond Quantum Healing, and yeah, I've just really enjoyed doing past life regression type work. And I'm realizing that there's this kind of specialty aspect of it as far as starseed origin regression that I'm feeling really called to step into. So I want to share today the story of when I was in the regression and what I saw. So yeah, I went into the regression, and the vision that I had was, if I'm closing my eyes, it's just to really get back into seeing that vision in my mind. So it was me kind of all of a sudden in this spaceship-like room. And I was sitting, I was this blue being, and I'll first just share from what I experienced with the minimal knowledge that I had at that time. And then after, I'll share kind of the research I did and the ways that I connected the dots on these things. So in the vision, I was this blue being. It was like a female energy, and I was sitting at this like desk thing. And there was I think it's holographic, right? When it's just like a floating screen there in front of me. And it was Earth. It was just like kind of a zoomed out image of Earth, but somehow also, like without zooming in, I was able to have both a perspective of the overview of Earth and of kind of specific people, places, things happening somehow just from that one kind of image of the overview of Earth. And then I kind of drew my attention to over here in the room and realized that there was this kind of like silver, like very metal, very sterile, like operation kind of equipment stuff going on, right? With the stereotypical like bright lights and things like that. And there was a human man laying on this metal table, and there were all of these gray alien beings. They were tall gray alien beings. There was about 4 of them surrounding this table and just doing work on this man. And as I became aware of that happening, I saw that this man was someone that we had, they or we, I don't know, it seemed like we were kind of somewhat working together, that he was a man that we had abducted. And he was freaking out. Rightfully so, he was freaking out. Just terror and panic. And he was like strapped down, and the gray alien beings around him just had no awareness. It's like the emotions just didn't register at all. They just had no idea. They weren't like aware of it and ignoring his pain or his fear. They literally just like didn't register it at all. And I did. I was the only one in the room who did. And so I start freaking out and just saying like, stop, like it's not working, it's not working. And I kind of became aware that what we were trying to do was we were trying to heal this man so that with the intention that he could go back to Earth, and him just being naturally like more of a healed person, it would then ripple out and help other people heal. And it was supposed to make a healing impact on Earth in a big way, but I realized that it was not doing that. It was causing him more trauma and more terror and more panic, and I was the only one that was aware. The gray beings weren't aware, and so I was trying to say, stop, like it's not working, it's not working, we have to do this another way. And then that is kind of where that vision ended. And I'm noticing like emotion come up as I tell this, and as I go back into that vision. Yeah, I think for obvious reasons. I'm a very empathic person. So after that, I was processing things, and I wanted to understand what the heck did I just see? And more details about specifics of things, like I said. So I was looking up like different types of aliens, and it became clear to me through this research. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm in focus. My camera's on. Sorry, I did another video and my mic was off. Okay. Anyway, so I did my research on these alien beings, and it became clear to me that the blue being that I was is an arcturian. Arcturian. Yes. And the other beings were grays. That was a little more obvious. And in my research, I found that not only was this like visually aligning, but it was also energetically aligning. So apparently something about grays is that they're much more, oh, if I can remember all the research, it was quite a while ago, but I've since just kept up on researching it. Anyway, the grays are much more operational, and they're like the IT nerds. Sorry, no offense, IT nerds. We love you. We need you. But they're sorry, that's probably a really bad analogy because IT nerds have feelings and can feel other people's feelings. But that's just what came up. So they're basically just they're very smart. They're very precise and operational and getting things done, right? In that kind of way that it showed up in this vision of they're not aware of human emotions, or they're not aware of emotions. They literally can't register them. And it's just like an input that they have no signal for receiving. But Arcturian beings are not in that way. They are able to register those things and are also known for being hold on, I'm having trouble. Let me refresh my memory really quickly and come right back. Okay, cool. So I found my notes about this. So grays are commonly described as being highly operational, task-oriented, procedural, more like limited on that emotional range, like I was already saying, and are not able to read, respond to emotional distress, or just like any emotional feelings. But in this vision, obviously emotional distress, and really are more like data collection, experimentation, efficiency, like that kind of a left brain type of energy. And arcturian beings are more commonly described as being highly emotionally intelligent and like very conscious and heart-centered, and are also oriented towards more like protection and oversight and like systems and like watching over and guiding, and more so from kind of like a not detached, but from like, instead of it being like a in your face someone that's very popular and very well known and like you see and know exactly what they're doing, kind of someone more behind the scenes. That's what I'm looking for, behind the scenes. They're more behind the scenes, and often associated with like watching Earth and systems and kind of the efficiency when it comes to systems and how systems work, and how very attuned to like the underlying dynamics and mechanics within a system and how that system intends to be working versus what the actual effect is, right? So that was very much in my vision of that's exactly what these beings were displaying as far as their energy. And as I tuned into this more, it became really clear to me in this regression processing that this is a past life of mine, and that I realized from this experience that we were trying to do it in this way of having someone brought, like as humans we call it abduction, like having someone brought onto this spacecraft where we can do the healing that we needed to do, and seeing the intention behind it was meant to be a healing thing, right? That's the system and the intention. But then me as the arcturian being really being aware that that's not what's actually happening here. We're actually causing more trauma, more fear. We're making things worse when that is not the goal. And it became really clear that I couldn't do it in this type of like overseer's way. I really had to be boots on the ground, human, doing this work on Earth for myself, with others, and in that embodied human way. So that is my story, and take it or leave it. You don't have to believe it, but I do, and I know that that is a guide of mine now. This arcturian past life self is a guide of mine now, and this experience is not, I don't share this to make others kind of think this way, and it wasn't for me this way, whereas a lot of this starseed and past life and ET and all of this stuff is talked about as like some beings outside of us, or some past life outside of us, or something here, something that's not here and now, that's somehow like better than or whatever, right? We're like escaping or giving our power away to some other being that knows more than us, or some other past life that was better than this life or worse than this life, just right? We're just like more focused on those things. And I really want to bring into this work this grounded stance on it of being aware of how it's helped me and how it can help others in a grounded way. So not only has it helped me in having that really interesting, cool experience of seeing this, but it has also made it really clear to me that this is a guide of mine. This is a being that is still guiding me, because it's the same mission, right? Carried over. And that's really powerful to not only have that connection, that stronger connection with a guide, with some sort of a spirit guide, but also to have that connection with ourself of like understanding. I kind of already knew my mission, but for other people, really even becoming aware of their mission. But for me, more deeply understanding my mission, why I feel so freaking powerfully drawn to doing healing type of work here on Earth. And also, give me some different perspective and understanding on the trauma and the things that I went through in my life, knowing that take it or leave it. If you're not at this place yet, don't rush to get there. It's not like, oh, you're not there yet. Like, no, we don't do that here. I'm just saying that for a long time, people tried to push me to see a greater perspective in my trauma and to understand the lesson and the meaning. And that comes through healing. That doesn't come through trying to bypass the healing and just jump to the lesson. But in doing that healing, I have come to a place of realizing that I went through those things because I had to experience those things to know what it's like, to know how to overcome it, to have a different perspective on things, and to essentially like become the me that I am now, who is able to do this work and able to have an understanding of these things. You can really only have a certain type of empathy or understanding when you have been through similar things. So it has been really empowering in that way of kind of also helping me, not wrap up, but because it's an ongoing thing, but really helped me have a greater understanding of these things that I went through and the meaning that I've been able to make from it, and the power and the gold that I've been able to make from these things. A saying that I have is transforming shadows into gold, really being able to heal and overcome things and become stronger in spite of them and ultimately because of them. And that doesn't make trauma and doing bad things okay because, oh, I'm doing this to you so that they'll heal. No, we don't do that here. But we can say, I went through this thing. Man, that was really messed up. Let me heal. And then naturally, our system starts to find a deeper meaning for that. And that is a really empowering thing. And so not only has this experience helped me with those things of becoming closer to a guide of mine, becoming closer with myself, it's also helped me to trust myself more and to understand that even when I didn't understand why I was being pulled to certain things, I didn't understand why am I so obsessed with past life regression and like read chunky ass Dolores Cannon books in like 2 days and these things, why am I having this weird vision? Like, help make sense of, there's a reason why these things either pull me in or I have these certain experiences, and learn to trust myself and really tap into my intuition and my self-trust and my discernment and my voice in deeper ways. I'm still developing my voice, as you can tell, maybe or maybe not. I'm still getting used to speaking on camera without any notes or without anything. And I feel really called to, it feels like a stretch for me, but I know it's a stretch that I can hold. But I feel really called to offer not specifically past life regressions in the way that I was like maybe what was most natural for people from the Beyond Quantum Healing work. But I feel really called specifically to do Starseed origin regressions and helping other people call in these memories, these visions of their own past life starseed guide, their own starseed roots that connects them to their mission and connects them also to deeper things that they can understand about themselves and their energy. This has allowed me so much to understand, like, oh, no wonder I'm drawn to kind of having a protective nature. No wonder it resonates for me. All the things I named about arcturian beings like deeply resonate for me before I was even aware that that was a thing. And just have a deeper understanding of myself and my energies and my unique ways and my unique gifts, and have some sort of way to process all of this. And also just really, I feel so called to this also to help ground the conversation around starseeds. So much of the starseed talk in the social media world is like, oh, have you always felt like an alien on this earth, and you felt like you don't belong here, and let's escape into this, oh, I'm an arcturian, I don't belong here, I'm supposed to be somewhere else. No. Like, yes, I think that most humans are some sort of starseed. A lot of people feel called to connect with being a starseed in an intentional way, right? A lot of people walking around are, I believe, a starseed in some capacity, and they don't really have an interest in that. And that's okay. That's totally great. Like, don't force people into it if they don't feel called to it. But a lot of people are feeling called to it, and a lot of these people are have similar experiences of having a lot of trauma or a lot of pain in the past. And it makes so much sense when we've had that we want to escape and we want to go, oh, no wonder, it's because I don't belong here. It's because this earth is so terrible, and escape right out of it. And also believe that we're higher and better than and special, more special. We're all special, but more special than other people because, sorry, my camera died. So let me jump back into that thought. I wrote it down because I was right in the middle of that thought. So this realization of like being a starseed and people who resonate with that term, it doesn't make you better than anyone else. It just makes you more attuned to that connection. And it's not like, oh, I'm more special, I'm better than other people because I'm a starseed. It's not about this hierarchy of being better than other people. It's really about just understanding your own energy, your own gifts, your own mission. And I believe that everyone, to some extent, is a starseed. So it's not about being better than. It's just about getting to know ourselves and our intuition, our mission better. And stepping into this work, bringing that really grounded perspective of doing that work. We're not doing a starseed origin regression to try to escape Earth and beam ourselves back home. No, like, we chose to come here for a reason. If you didn't choose to come here to be on Earth at this time, you wouldn't be here. So it's not about escaping. I get it. I really get it. Like, Earth can be a really painful place. It can also be a really beautiful place. And so there is so much pain and so many things that make us feel like, I don't belong here. I don't want to be here. But we are here for a reason. And the longer that I don't belong here, I don't want to be here, the more pain that causes us, because we're just focused on, I don't want to be here, this really sucks. So it's more about, I am here. I chose to be here. man, I must have chose to be here for a really good reason because, dude, what the heck? So let me figure out what that reason is. Let me learn more about myself and my mission and connect to my guides and connect to my Starseed family. And so that's the work that I am stepping into, inviting others into. Like I have been sharing, this is new for me. And yeah, when I did past life regression work with clients, I was really loving it. It came really naturally to me. I am certified in Beyond Quantum Healing, like I said, and it's something that feels so natural to me. And so I know that doing this Starseed origin work with others is going to be really powerful for the people who feel called to do this work. If you are curious about that, you can find out more in the description box. And yeah, I'm still getting used to being on camera. I'm still getting used to talking about all this stuff now. So if you're here with me, thank you for being here with me.